guys, your commander today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Glad to have you all here today. He is mine, Armanz the Magnificent. Welcome to the account, man. Fusion complete. And I'm excited about this one, man. I'm excited about it. Let me know where you guys are. Did you go for the fusion? Did you even bother with it? If so, have you got your hands on him? Are you close? If you have him, what are your first impressions? I really want to hear from you guys. I'm not even going to edit this video, but this is one of two today. Actually, maybe one of three, right? I'm going to have this guy right now kind of sharing my first impressions. This guy even better than expected. And my expectations were high. And he's even better. I'm going to tell you why in today's video. Why this dude's a stud for millions of accounts, even beyond Arena, even beyond PvP, which I feel like most people were so focused on early on. He's a game changer for so many players out there. Free to play, whales, krakens, spenders, minnows, and everything in between, okay? I am going to have a very special limited time promo code exclusive for you guys in a few hours. So subscribe to the channel or not, or just check in later on if you want to. Don't miss out on that one as well. And I'm going to have a longer, more robust guide on my Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides YouTube channel in probably about a week or so. After that, I've really had time to use this guy everywhere in the game extensively. I asked you guys 11 days ago, are you going for Armanz the Magnificent? 15,000 of you guys voted, and I don't know, around 8,000 or so of you are actually going for him. That's a lot. For my audience, in a fusion, that's a lot of people going for him. I'm curious how many of those 8,000 actually got him or are close to getting him. Also, 23,000 of you guys voted on do you have Lydia the Death Siren? I was surprised, honestly, that 68% of you guys do not have her. The reason I asked that, and I'm glad I did now, is so I could better inform the type of content that I make here on the channel to understand where you guys are progression-wise, okay? So maybe less mythical videos like we did yesterday, still here and there, you know, but more, you know, focused a little bit on, I guess, mid-game and progression. Anyway, guys, I digress. Let's get into Armanz. So what does this dude do? You're probably already familiar with this kit, but let's quickly go through it. He's got speed in arena battles by 28%. Great arena speed aura. He can be your aura lead, and he's pretty fast at a 108 base speed. His base stats are, they're not like jump out the page at you, but they're kind of like Ghostborn-esque, right? They're like solid across the board, almost 20k in the HP, almost 1,200 on the attack, and 1,100 or higher on the defense, okay? On his A1, Weird Blade attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance when booked of increasing the cooldown of a random active skill by 2 turns, a really good control ability baked into his A1. Fills his champion's turn meter by 10% for each turn added to the cooldown. Nice. Okay. Sweet. On greatest hits, 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies, steals all the turn meter of each target, basically, you know, all but guaranteeing an extra turn or very close to, right? And then against champions specifically, or anybody susceptible to turn meter reduction, like Spider. Wait till you see him in Spider or anywhere else freaking in the game, basically, right? Except enemies under sheep debuffs. Also places a stun for 1 turn on all enemies not under a sheep. Because he has a stun and he's stealing all turn meter, he becomes the best stunner, the #1 stunner, as Nelly once said, in the entire game. Because we can get back to this so quickly. I'll show you guys. It's insane. On the A3 for my next trick, he will turn somebody into a sheep on a 3-turn cooldown. Places a sheep on an enemy for 1 turn. Cannot be blocked. Okay, great. If you're into sheep. Then has a 100% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% for each buff removed. So we're stealing turn meter on the A2. We're filling turn meter on the A3. We're filling turn meter on the A1. All conditional on the A1 to A3, but still a lot of turn meter fill. A lot of opportunities to take more turns to go faster and faster and faster on Armanz. Whenever a sheep debuff is removed or expires on an enemy, increase the cooldown of a random active skill on that enemy to its max. Whew. There's a lot of control baked into this kit on the A1 and the passive. Fills the champion's turn meter more by 10% for each turn added to the cooldown. Oh my gosh. This guy is unbelievable. This is, honestly, some people are saying he's too strong. I see some people saying he's too strong. It's not fun, you know? This is how I like a fusion, man. if I'm going to, because I traveled this past weekend, I travel like every other weekend. I probably say that a lot. And if I'm going to be like, you know, checking in on my damn phone in my game constantly, what it feels like, I want it to be worth something, you know? I want it to be for somebody very juicy and very good. And Armanz is that, you know? So I'm actually thrilled with this fusion. And I'm just in a generally good mood. Like, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, yeah, I'm in a good mood right now. I'm really digging this. Okay, so he looks freaking cool. I love the aesthetics on this dude. I don't know, like, I'm kind of surprised he's a barbarian. I remember, like, the second day that he was, or the day he was added to the game in the index or whatever, I was, like, looking for him in, like, Shadowkin. I'm like, where the heck is he? I'm like, oh, yeah, he's a barbarian. I guess he does fit it, kind of like a, well, whatever, who cares? Anyway, I have him in what I think is kind of the, not the obvious, because there's so many different ways to build this dude. You can put stone skin, you can put perception, accuracy. You can build him in so many different ways, right? As a matter of fact, we have good old hellhades.com. I always like to consult other opinions as well, right? They give him a 4.5 overall score on this champion. If I can show you, there it is, a 4.5. I don't know, man. I'm tempted to go 5 on this guy. I'm tempted to make him one of the like 25 champions in the game with a perfect 5. They do give him a half a star in Iron Twin, Sand Devil, Shogun Grow. So I guess some areas of the game, at least that we haven't found a great use case for him yet, literally on like day 5 of him being in the game or whatever. TBD on that. But there's so many areas that he excels in a big way. Look at all this, right? Arena 5 out of 5, Dark Fae, Eternal Dragon 5 out of 5, Spider 5 out of 5, Spider Hard 5 out of 5. Well, you guys can see the scores, right? Very, very good. He has good multipliers, a 4 on the A1, a 4.2 on the A2 as well. However, I tested him out for damage. I'm not going to show you guys that test because it didn't impress me that much, you know? I put him in crit damage on the amulet, crit damage on the gauntlets, attack percentage on the chest, and he was like a fairly serviceable support nuker. But I actually changed my mind. You know, I'm not going to, I'll look for like maybe War Master for damage from this dude in a lot of situations, especially progression players out there. But I'm not building him for damage. I'm building him for a kind of a lockout build with some survivability. That 19, almost 20k on the HP scales pretty well too. So might as well take advantage of it, right? Now, of course, every situation is different in this game, right? Everything is circumstantial, where you are in your account, what teams you're using him on, what other champions are on said teams, and where you're using him, right? So there's a lot of mitigating factors which might inform how you want to use this champion, such as you're using him on a team that's already everybody staying alive in PVE, and he's staying alive, no issues, he's landing all his turn meter steel, whatever, then maybe you do want to build him for a little bit of damage too, right? So it's up to you guys, ultimately. We'll talk about different circumstances throughout this video on where and why you'd want to build him differently. But I like him in kind of a sheep lockout build. I don't particularly, like, I have a few changes that I would recommend, but very similar to this sort of a build in terms of masteries. I'll show you what I have on him in a moment here. They recommend Stone Skin for PvE, Bolster, Perception, Righteous. So building him with higher resist and speed makes sense on Righteous. Bolster, you know, I don't think he's the best bolster candidate personally, but he could be a bolster candidate, you know. Stone Skin, could totally see that, especially if you don't have like uber good speed gear. Just want to make sure he gets his turns. We can steal his turn meter and sheep people. Sure, absolutely, right? Relentless, Reflex, Refresh, Merciless, Retaliation as options for PvE. Especially Retaliation is a good call out there, right? Because he's putting skills on cooldown with his A1 ability when he counterattacks, right? So I agree with all of this, but I'll be real with you guys. I love good old Perception. You know, it's like you can use it anywhere. PvE, PvP, it gets the job done. I still think it's one of the strongest sets in the entire game. We get 140 accuracy, we get 15% speed, right? Those are the two most important stats on this dude anyway. So why not? That's how I have him built. All right, really quickly to go through what I have on him right now. Accuracy with accuracy on the banner. I can actually remove the crit damage. This was back from when I was building him to be a nuker. Again, he can deal some serviceable support damage, and he can solo some like crazy stuff in the game, which I'll show you guys as well. We're taking a big hit on accuracy here, but whatever, we'll be okay. HP, I think, is fine on the amulet or defense. I tend to err on the side of HP, but I never want to totally ignore defense on any of my builds. I do have defense on the ring. I have HP percentage on the chest. I have speed on the boots, and I have crit rate with a quad roll accuracy on the gauntlets. I took took that off Warlord. So I actually do have him still with 100% crit rate. Just not a lot of crit damage. Again, nice to have damage, but not imperative to me with this build, with this champion. I have a decent amount of HP, 71k, a decent amount of defense. I prefer, ideally, for endgame, he'd be over 3,000, but the speed makes up for it. Ideally, for endgame, as fast as possible, right, for the arena. In PvE, you can get by with, you know, depending on where you are. I saw a lot of free-to-play players kind of actually going for this one and getting your hands on him. First of all, congratulations. That is 100 billion times more impressive than what I did. You know, spent a little money on some energy and blah, blah, blah. So hats off if you're a low or non-spender and you're actually going to get this dude. Hats off. He'll be a dramatic impact on your account. Just you want him as fast as possible, right? I saw Cold Brew did a video on him on a free-to-play account, and he had him at 260 speed with all of his best gear and 220 accuracy, and he was destroying with him, you know, on a free-to-play account. So again, stat priority, speed, accuracy, you guys know the rest, right? Blessings, polymorph. Why not add more sheep to the sheeper, right? I think that polymorph is great. It's probably going to be where the majority of you guys are probably going to go here. But of course, Brimstone for PvE, if you're going to be relying on him in PvE, I think that's a great opportunity as well for you guys to take advantage of to get a lot more damage out of this champion. Now, if we're going to be using him primarily in PvP and dungeons and Curse City and wave content and all the areas that we just outlined on hellhades.com, I would go with Warmaster, right? Just go on the left-hand side, hug the left. I'm sure there's something on hellhades.com. Again, shout out to hellhades.com, the website. Wave control, this is perfect, right? I mean, I'll link this for you in the show notes, but I think that this is a great PvE mastery. Just hug the left-hand side, go down to Warmaster. Most importantly, mastery-wise, real quick, I want to pick up the trifecta right here. These three. I really want to get Harvest to Spare on this dude, and I'm not seeing many people or anybody really recommend that. Place a leech while you place the stun. He's placing so many stuns. Get some leech, get some healing from this dude too. Why not, right? Why not? Deterrence and retribution are going to be super important. Again, more opportunities to counterattack with this guy is going to be great because we're going to be controlling vis-a-vis the cooldown on the A1. I went down the support tree. I went all the way down the right-hand side and picked up more accuracy for the arena. If you're not a big PvP player, not arena player, again, go offense instead of defense. Go support, and maybe with like Spirit Haste or something, and then go down, pick up Warmaster. There's no need to pick up Master Hexer on this champion, okay? So it is what it is. It's our vehicle to get down to Eagle Eye. We also don't need Sniper, so there's no other way to get down there, right? There it is, guys. Total stats again. I already showed you. Let's just get into it here. Gosh, I talked way longer than I wanted to at the top of this video, but it is what it is. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, guys. All right, Spider. I'm not going to show you a whole Spider run, but it doesn't matter the stage. Spider 16. Obviously, if he's Magic Affinity going against Spirit, it's going to be great. Picture him with Warmaster. This is the type of difference this dude is going to make on so many accounts out there, whether it's Minnow, whether it's Spider. I mean, he can solo Spider. This is the Spider 16, it's not Spider 6, you know? He lands that stun, he gets the extra turn, he goes again, and he's already back to his stun. And then he goes again, and he goes again, and he's already back to the stun. Everybody is perma-stunned because of the turn meter steal that we're getting off of every Spiderling. This is bonkers. We don't have Warmaster on him right now, but he can solo Spider. It's insane. It is insane what he can do. Like I said, he's the #1 stunner in the game. Picture Brimstone Smite on top of Warmaster in a situation like this. It's going to be great for you guys, right? Talk about endgame PVE, right? Before we jump into the arena. I just had him on this team that I was using him on, right? Awakened, Centrano, Soulcross, 24, right? Difficult awakening stage. I have him at 1-star awakened right now, but the rest of the team definitely carries the load here. I'm not even going to show you the whole run. I just want to show you again how unbelievable he is in terms of a control champion, right? So, I mean, I could have obviously with Molly just provoked here, but let me just show you. We'll come in, we'll stun. Everybody, Alscore, what are you doing over there, bro? Well, hey, good news, guys. We have a non-blockable sheep debuff. We missed one stun there because of the affinity. Well, sheep him. Look at that control, guys. Look at that control. He took 2 turns back to back, and guess what? By the time he has a decreased speed, which is holding them back a little bit, but by the time anybody's ready to go on the enemy team, he's already back to greatest hits. Go ahead and give it to him right now. Do it. Boom. They're stunned again. Come on, man. This dude is a monster. You stun, you steal, you sheep, you control with the A1, and you're back to stunning again. This guy, whether you're struggling in Doom Tower progression, whether you're struggling in any Cursed City floor that you can possibly use him on, anywhere. I mean, you've got your hands on, golly, just back in my day, guys, they didn't even have a 3-turn stun in the game. I don't think they even had a 4-turn guaranteed stun in the game that I can recall 4 or 5 years ago. Now we have like an every other turn almost stunner. It's absolutely insane. It makes content that is really hard. I mean, these are challenging. These are some of those challenging levels in the entire game, right? And he makes it look easy because of that insane control that he's able to add to your teams. Wow. I mean, I could show you him anywhere, you know? Unfortunately, I haven't played since reset here, but I'm going to try to find, you know, the toughest teams to go against here, like starting with this one, right? This is a weird, unorthodox team that I have here, but it's not necessarily the best use case for him. But the thing is you can use him in any kind of a team. He fits anywhere, you know? He does fit anywhere in the arena. So we're going to use him on a go first team, right? So, well, let's just open up with the AoE stun, right? So we land 3 stuns. Sun Wu is not stunned, but guess what? We're going to sheep him before he can sheep us. It's already game over pretty much here. You know, we're already stunned. He took back-to-back turns. Insane control. God, dude. He is a nifty little champ. I'm sorry for drooling all over this dude, but I'm bringing the hype today because it's just gnarly what this guy can do. You saw him go in there, reduce the cooldown of Narcissus' big bad AoE, right? Let's come in here and, well, we could stun again if we wanted to. Lady Mikage, she could come in and stun now. Now we've got the double stun. They're going to be perma-stunned. We're already back to greatest hits. We come back in, we stun her again. I mean, hey, why don't we sheep somebody while we're at it? We don't need to. Let's try to kill with the A1 here. I mean, you guys can see just how insane this guy is. Oops, didn't need to do that, but whatever. He's something else. He is something else, man. You know what? Harima, you really hurt. I do not want to go against Harima, so let's sheep her. How about that? It's wild. His kit is wild. I mean, gosh, I want to make this like a 45-minute video and just do arena like all day with you guys, but I do have my day job as well. So I'm going to probably cut this one after, like, I'll show you 1 or 2 more arena battles, but I'm going to probably switch the team. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch the team to, kind of my best team possible. Hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit endgamey stuff here, right? And just show you how lethal he can be. And you can also consider, especially if you're not going to use him on a go first team, as I mentioned earlier, can absolutely consider going with excuse me, I'm trying to think about the team. Going Stone Skin, right? So let's go with like, what do we want to do here? Want to put him with Taurus and Marichka? Is that very dirty? It is very dirty. But let's do it anyway. I mean, I don't think I even necessarily need a Crixia or Yumeko or whatever, a lockout champion. He's got a little bit of what like a Lady Mikage does too, in terms of the control that he brings to the table, right? With that early stun and the ability to build them really fast. Again, going greatest hits here. We land 2 stuns, that time. We can sheep, oh, we got a resist on the sheep, unfortunately. Let's cleanse that fear away from Taurus. Go in with a little nukage there, sure. Now, you can see that turn meter already filling up pretty quickly. We can come right back in here. I mean, we can do some crazy things, right? With a Crixia, we can reduce cooldowns. Come back in there with another greatest hits. Keep perma-stunning these dudes and I don't know. I mean, does it even matter at this point? I don't even want to sheep anybody, honestly. I just want to, I mean, they're already CC'd. It is overkill at this point, right? It is overkill. Let's hopefully try to end her. And then that's that, man. I mean, it's some elite level control that this dude is bringing to the table here, guys. It is, I don't think I already know he is. Let me show you right before we end the video here. So far, early on, live arena stats, gold 1, he is, the pick rate is so low that this is meaningless, unfortunately. But his ban rate, I mean, I just said it's meaningless. I don't want to look into it and speculate. This pick rate is very, very low. But I anticipate, and I already know, honestly, that this guy is going to be a stud in end game, in early game, mid game arena. He can't, forgive the double negative, he can't not be. He's that good. What do you think of Armanz, guys? I've showed you him in PVE, PVP, given my impressions. Now it's time to hear from you guys in the comments below. Much love. Stay tuned for my promo code later on today as well. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.